are currently being recorded. A stove fan. Oh yeah, a radio-controlled jumbo clock, so we can detect the moisture in this place. It's exactly the same one that we had on the narrowboat. It's not the prettiest, but at least we can see the numbers. And this. A DJI Mini 4 Pro drone. Although I'm told not to throw this away because I'm going to save it for some no-dig gardening, and we've got a lot to save up.
So if you're new here and you don't know who the hell I am, hi, I'm Vicky, the Carpenter's daughter. Now, over the last few weeks, I've been showing you the struggles of trying to buy an auction property, and we got it. We are actually on a 4-acre farm. I think last week or the week before, I showed you the extent of the renovations we've got to do, but we've also got so much to do outside. And so that's why I've bought a drone for this video to show you the full extent of all the hidden surprises, what we've got to do. I'd love some of your feedback as well, or lots of feedback, because we don't really know that much about gardening, so we've got a lot to learn. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the ride, and I will see you towards the end. Oh, and there's going to be lots of before photos because we've been kindly sent the images of what this place looked like in its heyday. So after quite a bit of research, we've gone for this one because it's under 250 grams, and I can't wait to show you where we are. So I've now got the Civil Aviation Authority website open. I've got to prepare for a theory test. I'm very worried it's going to be very boring to watch, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing. So it's telling me that I must register before flying most drones, and if I fly, I must pass a theory test to get a flyer ID. I've got some reading to do, and I don't like to read instructions and things like that. Just to specify, mine is below 250 grams. You must be sure that you'll be able to spot any nearby hazards in the air. And the final question. 3 friends are talking about taking their drones and model aircraft to fly in an empty field near an airport. That sounds bad. Ben says we must check that the field is outside the airport's flight restriction. I'm going to go with that. Right, I'm going to click it, complete the test. 40 out of 40! Yeah! But we can't fly in now anyway because the weather is crap outside. So now I need to click continue to get my operator ID. I've put my date of birth and it says, I can confirm that you are 40 years old, you cheeky sod. So I've waited until the next day because it's better weather. So I think I can clip it here. There's the propeller guard off. Looks a bit frog-like, doesn't it? It's bigger than I thought it would be. So I've come out to test it. Pause it. Take 2. We had to do a firmware update, so we'll pop it there. It's very cold as well, so I've got a coat on now.
Take off. Home point.
In! Come and follow it. I like this. I find it quite intuitive at the moment. I quite like this height, so it's with me. I'm testing. Oh, he does not like the tree. There's a fly on it. There's a fly on the top. I love it. It's cool. I'm not even looking at the camera.
conifer. Oh, thank you. Let's not go near there again. Here's a lesson to you all out there. Don't let your husband run riot on sport mode near trees over a lake. It could be very costly. That was a very hair-raising experience, but I can't wait to go and have a look what the footage looks like. There's definitely some lake juice on there. Jesus. Are you all right now?
So now I've showed you the drone footage, hopefully it's given you a better perspective about where the bungalow is. I'm going to start walking around, starting at the front of the property, of the land, and yeah, walk you around. So as you can see, the front, in fact, all of the grass, even at the back, is so overgrown. We really need to get cracking, sorting this out. And the front of the bungalow is there, and I'm stood at the side, which wraps around to the conservatory. So in front of the conservatory, this is the formal garden. Now this obviously looks like it's been glorious in its day, and we've got proof of that. This is what it looked like before the conservatory was even there, and we've seen photos of how good it can or did look over the years. So hopefully we can do it justice and get it to how it was. There's also lots of rose bushes in areas where you can't really tell, they're just completely overgrown, and a gorgeous pond. Don't know if that is a real swan though, or it's a fake swan. I'd love to see more wildlife here. If we want to restore this, we've got a lot of work to do here. And because our neighbours are so amazing, they've actually helped us locate where the septic tank is, which is under this pampas grass, which from what I hear, I'm glad this is at the back, not the front of the house. Have you heard that one? Now this is where the access to it is because we had it pumped out a couple of weeks ago, but we do need to figure out whether this needs replacing or not. Also, the hedges are ridiculously high and overgrown, and there's some that I have no idea what they are. So when I get a chance, I'm going to go to town. So there's the pampas grass. We're at the back, well not quite at the back of the garden, but it looks like the back of the garden because it's so overgrown. But there is a little pond just there. And I'm looking forward to restoring that one. I've had to ditch the tripod because it's just not practical. But this is towards the back of the garden. There is a lot over there, but there's a surprise that I'm going to leave till the end that we didn't realise until we bought it. It's very, very cool. So we're still in the back garden. The overgrown rosebush is there. Our back kitchen window is there. And we're going to go through the side here because this is where our driveway is. Now, as you can probably see, the driveway is all concrete and it's very cracked and broken in places. In fact, one of the places that has more cracks is where a tree used to be. But if you've got any recommendations what you would do with this, let me know. We have looked into something called a rubber crumb driveway that can go on top, level it off. I don't know whether that will work, whether we'd need to rip it out completely either. Normally I do gravel driveways. I'm not sure I'll do that here. Oh! That was a robin. He was very close, wasn't he? Oh, what's there? Oh, little robin. So cute. Oh God, that panicked me. If you are a bird expert, let me know. Was that bird trying to tell me get off my land? Or was it just saying hi? I think it was the other way. It's back over there, or she? Anyway, what I was trying to say was that the driveway slopes towards that end, which creates a problem to the old cottage. When we first came to view this place, this excited us. The fact that this has so many possibilities. It has a lot of work to do. I'll show you inside another time. That is probably going to be a lifetime project. Everything that we'll be doing in the bungalow, we'll be saving up to sort this out. But this used to be a two-storey cottage. I think it's back from the 1800s. Originally the two-storey was above here, and where the buddleia is there, that is a bridged piece to link it all together. But it sits about 1.5 feet lower than the bungalow itself. So any rain slips down to here, and there's no channel around there, any drainage that we're aware of. So we need to sort it out because all the puddles go straight under through to the garage door. So right now we can't really do anything with this, but I'm excited all the same. So I'm stood behind the old cottage and I am dying to remove all this vegetation to have a look what's behind there. And again, so you know where you are, the pampas grass is just over there. So I'll turn it around and I'll talk about the stables. Now I know from the previous owner's friends that this area here used to be an aviary where all the birds would be able to go through the window there and into the stables, and then later I think ponies were in there. I'd like this bit to be my herb garden for a start. That's my plan. And then I think these are a very good contender for a workshop or further over there. I'm just not sure. I'm not in a rush to do it anyway because I've got so much to do on this house. That robin's back and he's trying to peck at bugs. Oh, it's so cute. Hello, can I feed you? Wow, that is not that scared, is it? Hello, he's a little daredevil. Hi. So here's where we're hiding our camper van, which we were sleeping in the first few nights. Well, first of all, that door really needs to be replaced. I'm certainly not going to try and restore that thing, but let's go in. So this is just where we've been dumping cardboard for no-dig gardening in the future for our veg patch. We've got some old gas bottles, which were here right from the start, and look at this. An antique table saw, and I've no idea how this works because I can't see a plug or anything. That's a belt, but yeah, I do not plan to use this. It looks scary as it's rusty as well. Let's have a look underneath. It just looks like a flimsy beast. Yeah, does anybody remember using one of those? There's mesh above here. I think this is from the aviary. And all of this looks aviary related as well. And all of that was there right from the start. It probably all needs to go to the skip. Just loads of old paint and stuff. And then it's just empty barn after empty barn. We are stuck on trees. It's a big one, this one. And if you can see, it leads to the other part, but it's full of hay. It all needs clearing out. So you can see newish bricks and then you can see old bricks. And this was originally here. And the brickwork over there is leaning, so that all needs sorting. But I bet most of you can't guess what this is from this angle. It's only an antique AA box. Although don't get too excited because it really has seen better days. The floor is rotten. There's rotten wood over there. I don't know how much of the original stuff is here, but it's fascinating. I've never seen one of these before, you know. I didn't realise how well sought after they were, maybe in better condition, but lots of people like to restore them. The hinges are leather. I don't know if those have been added after. And the key looks like the original one. So I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. I did think about flogging it on eBay or something, but if it's worth something, it certainly could pay for the funds of this house. But before I carry on walking around the paddock area, I really just want to stop you in your tracks and tell you that the land here goes for quite a while, but it's so overgrown. And apparently there's two greenhouses there and there's a brick kind of like low, maybe a wall. We can't really tell what it is until we just trim it down. But I can't wait to reveal that and something hidden over there. That's a surprise for later. So let's just go round here. So this overgrown mess might not look like much, but behind it, we've been told, is the entrance to a barn. Well, we can see the barn, but I can't see the entrance, but I have heard that there's been antiques and loads of hidden gems in there. Whether they've been taken out before the trees grew over the doorway, I don't know, but we can't wait to find out that one. It's taken a lot of energy not to just hand saw it down and have a look. But I've got too many videos to edit. And we've definitely got a last of the summer vibe going on around here because there's about 5 different bathtubs dotted around the place full of water, which must have been for the ponies. A soft and pure cotton wool. I don't know if I remember that brand, but this is the one that's got all of the antiques in, apparently. And maybe it's got some gold and money. One can only hope. And all of the other barns are in this area, much like this. Don't know what to do with them yet, but yeah, it's nice to have them just in case for storage. So I'm losing light, so I better be quick. But do you remember when I gave you the whole stories of us trying to buy a house? It had an agricultural clause and then the auction property. I was walking around the edges of this park to mimic a towpath, a bit sneaky, but this is all of ours. It's so exciting. This is where we want to try and grow some veg, maybe a workshop over there. And it goes, as we keep saying, as far as the eye can see. But because I'm running out of time, let's go straight to this lake and the summer house. Now, before I get there, we are very, very torn on what type of lawnmower to get, whether we should have a mini tractor with attachments, sit-on lawnmowers, a quad that's towing a topper. So if you've got any recommendations, let us know, because obviously that is a big spend. If we buy something and it's just not right, we don't want to be buying twice. But the reason we can't really cut the grass now anyway is it's just so wet. We've had a lot of rain and there's a lot of hidden gates that we keep finding. I keep tripping over something down here. It's a metal gate. So I think we're going to have to be very careful while we trim stuff, first of all, because we don't really know what's here. But we do know that the lake was so much bigger than this, or is so much bigger than this, but the overgrown vegetation is probably misleading us. Let me show you. So we know that the lake has a bridge over there. It's probably rotten, but we need to uncover it. And it's that tree my husband accidentally went into, and then it tumbled straight into the reeds. Luckily, the reeds caught it. But in sport mode, the sensors don't work anymore. If you put it in cinematic or normal, it should be dummy proof. And the thing that we're really missing is ducks. We want to see a family of ducks here. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm dying to restore that. It's a summer house tucked away. It looks quite ropey from the outside, and I know that the roof needs redoing, but inside it's very strange, like a mini living room. A picture of a husky or wolf on the back. I can tell someone spent a lot of time in there. And the chairs in the distance, we keep nipping over there just to have a drink on an evening. And as you can see, there's not a soul around. It's so peaceful. And at the back of the lake is all of the sectioned off paddocks. There's one over there, behind me, another one over there. And we've got so much choice of where to grow veg. Now, where would you put it? My gut feeling is to try and get it closer to the house as possible. And the sun rises from over there to over that way. So I'm not really entirely sure where to put veg. Where's the best place to put it? It'd be really handy to get your advice, and it's going to be a learning curve. But let me go back to the back of the house to show you what we discovered. One of the jobs that I wanted to do was fit an outdoor tap. Well, the previous owner's friends actually told us there's one just here. Well, it's on a rotten post, it's fallen over, but this used to supply water to a static caravan or two just here. So this has been a godsend. So my husband's been able to hook it up to the pressure washer, jet wash the front of the drive, and in fact, here's a before and after. So what happened was, the very first night we slept here, we actually had the van here on some hard standing, and we had the boot open. It was quite a warm night, and we were able to just look out through the back, look at the stars. And while I'm laid in bed, I said to my husband, that railing at the back, I can see some railing poking out of some trees. And he said, oh, it's probably some polytunnel. And the very next morning we were stood here and this happened. I'm just walking around my land, enjoying an apple, as you do, plucking it from the tree. And we don't really know what's around in the land because it's so overgrown. You can't believe what we've just found. I really can't believe it. I'll turn this camera around. I'm shocked. So last night, there's something behind here and I could see this metal frame and I thought that looks like the end of a boat. Now let's zoom in. There's a British Waterways number there. It's a boat. There's a boat. Can you see that? It's the hull of a boat and it's propped up on some metal. Well, we can't uncover that today. We're going to have to check that out another day when we've got the right equipment, but I can't believe it. It was meant to be.
So it's been a few weeks since, and I still can't believe that we actually discovered what we did, because it was less than 24 hours that we'd actually dropped our narrowboat off to a brokerage to sell. And what I'd really, really like to know is, now that you've seen the properties and everything that we've discovered on the land so far, what restoration project excites you the most? And despite quite a few questions in the comments about how somebody can leave this house to somebody in such a state, hopefully you can see by now from the before and after photos that it was just an elderly couple. They built the dream home, got everything how they wanted it, and eventually it was just age and illnesses against them. And now it's our turn to get it back to how it was, and we will eventually suffer the same fate. And if you want to come along for the ride, you're welcome to come on board, and hopefully I'll catch you in my next videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.